There we go. All right, welcome, Kirsch, to game night. You good? You good?
Oh
yeah. Yeah. Cheers.
Come by.
Come by. You gonna get canceled?
Oh, for real? Ojamashima.
Alright, well, I appreciate you coming over here playing some Street Fighter with me tonight.
Always, you know.
Alright, let's get into it.
Okay.
So I can school you up real quick.
Probably, yeah.
You know,
I've been mad out of practice, for real. Like, I was getting watched in the bronze, like by bronze character. Like, what the hell is going on?
I've played a few like ranked matches. I was like, you know what? I was drinking a little bit, and I was like, let me go out here and show these young bucks online what's up.
Okay.
And I got out there, and every last fight, the first fight, I think I dominated. I was like, cool. It's gonna be easy. Let me go ahead and get my person to platinum. And then I must ended up fighting against the Chun-Li. And I swear it seemed like every other punch, I'll be doing good, and then I just drop combos.
Damn.
And then after not picking up combos again, I just kind of get wrecked. And then I think I almost got perfect on one match, and I was like, well, let me quit playing. And so then I'm going to go with Marissa, you know, the heavy hitter.
What's a guy?
Big, beautiful woman, you know.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
She reminds me of the boar from, if you remember, what was it? I can't remember. It was you fought fighters who could transform into monsters. It was an old fighting game.
Oh, I'm thinking of Shaq Fu. Never mind.
Shaq Fu?
Yeah.
Wow.
You never heard of Shaq Fu?
No, I have. But just never really a monster though. Oh shit! I can remember what I'm doing here. Alright. Ooh, I forgot I'm on Martin controllers.
You're on
Yeah. Whenever you're ready.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Oh, I see. So you okay, you already started.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. Oh, right in the chest. Okay, I like how Zangief is moving, like post patch or whatever. I need some combos with this guy. Oh.
Okay, see, I gotta fix these Martin controls. See, they cheating already. I don't.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. See, yeah, we're gonna have to switch these controllers. I can't. Like that don't even count. Like how? Yeah.
Do we go to mode select to change them, or?
No, I think it's just select character, and I should
Gotcha.
change it when you went way too far.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I don't play this game much, so I don't know.
Oh wow. Okay.
No, not like that. But I still got those Street Fighter fundamentals. No, guys, I'm from the old school, the 94, 96 Street Fighter arcade days.
Okay, so I'm gonna do classic, because there we go. We're not gonna have no more problems here. But Marissa, she got this one.
Yeah, we play classic over here. You modern sons of bitches.
I haven't learned those yet. I mean, I know Martin gives you a leg up. It helps, but I just hadn't figured it out yet.
I consider it. It's pretty fun actually using the modern.
I know my nephew. He uses it. He's really good. He plays Jury.
The crazy one?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's annoying, but
apparently there's like a whole thing where people like really like her feet. Like
yeah,
foot fetish type
yeah,
of
she
thing.
has to.
I like that she's crazy too. So you got Marissa with the 300, set up gear and outfit. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot of damage. It takes a lot. Okay, I see how it is.
Oh, is that combo? I was like, is that combo?
No. I think something's wrong with my controller. I think that's what it is. I don't. There's, let's go ahead and run the rematch.
Right.
Let's run it back. I mean, so far this is some bullshit. I mean,
I like whatever they did to this engine because Street Fighter 6 before now was feeling like ass, to be honest.
okay, so grabbing in the air too. Okay, that's fine. He's sitting over here cheating for you, but that's cool.
Ooh, okay. Nice.
Okay. Alright, we gonna get there. Like I say, this controller messing up. That's all it is.
Okay.
They ain't got nothing to do with me. That's what it is.
Oh.
Yeah, they not gonna let you get that cheap stuff now. Okay, so that was fucked up.
Okay. Catching me before the. Alright.
There we go.
Oh my god. Oh, how can that at all? Oh. Yes. Oh my god. Okay, no. I got it. Yes. Okay.
Alright, yeah, like I say, this, I don't know. This some bullshit.
They just said the controller and watch.
No, it's fine. They just cheating for you, that's all.
Nice. Okay, we got combos in here. I got combo. Oh no, combo. I got combos too.
Fuck.
What?
Okay. Alright, yeah. Halfway across the map.
Oh, right in. Okay. I thought you were gonna.
See, that's the difference. See, when my controller's not messing up and they not cheating for you, I got you. You ain't gonna sit up here. That's crazy. Like.
Nice. Ooh, in the super. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, what is... Alright. Oh!
Like I said, look, you can't beat me. You can't beat me. Pick up this loser. Pick this loser up off the ground. Yeah, exactly. Now, look, my controller's working fine and I cheat for you. I got you. What? Okay, see? Okay, we starting on the... Okay.
Oh, you're lucky. Oh, Marissa.
Okay. That was a cheap grab or whatever.
Yes! Third hit. Oh!
Okay.
Oh! Muscle. What? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Nah.
Oh, nice. Ooh, nice reactions. Okay. Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Take throw crowd. Old school shit.
You can't handle this. You can't handle this.
Marissa. Ooh. What? Now, how in the... Ooh, nice. Ooh. Okay. Oh.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Oh, so we're playing Street Fighter.
Pick that loser up off my floor. That's what you do. You pick that loser up off my floor.
We're playing Street Fighter. Okay.
See, yeah, they letting you get damage you're not even supposed to get. Like, I don't even understand it. Like,
Chop that out the sky.
you can't beat me like that. Alright, see, my controller messing up again. That's all it is.
Oh.
I don't even want to see
The rush.
that. Nah, I'm done. This is stupid. It's stupid. I quit. Whatever. Turn this shit off. And now it's rigged. It's rigged. Turn this shit off.
Oh, fuck. I'll pick a different character.
It's a done deal. You trash the game. Trash. It's over. Okay. Well, we can play one more. But then we gonna discuss the topic of the day, which is rage quitting. That's all that was. I'll let you finish your little move. I figured, I'd put on a demo of what it was we're here to talk about, which are the stages of rage quitting. And you probably noticed, what I always like to count as stage one is you blame the equipment. It's never the player, it's the equipment. And then stage two, obviously, if somebody's winning, you cheating. Obviously, you and the game, y'all in alliance with each other. Yeah. See, kind of like you doing now. You taking advantage of the fact that I'm not, because you would never get a perfect on me. So, I see we gonna have to. This will be the last match, and then we can kind of discuss the topic of the day a little bit further. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna focus up real quick. Okay, well we can end it here.
Okay.
I'll let you. I'm gonna let you have that one. But yeah, in the edits, we're definitely gonna end when I actually played for real and beat you. But no, but you know what got me to thinking about today's topic was a friend of mine. He sent me a video that I'm gonna share with you in a minute. But he was fighting as Akuma against another Akuma, and just like we just had here in our matches, we were going back and forth, and we were having a pretty good time. Of course, he was playing online, my friend. He goes by Iffy online, AIFFY, because he's awesome.
Okay,
that's why. But they were going back and forth, and there was actually a match in there. Like I said, you'll see it in a second, where his opponent actually got the best of him. But then when he came back with an answer and was getting serious, all of a sudden he's out.
Oh.
And that got me to thinking, is rage quitting part of the gaming world and our expectations of what gaming culture is, or is it just there are certain people who are sore losers? Because I see it all the time, all over the place. So first, let me bring up the video for you. I want to show you what the video is.
Okay.
Just a second. And so we'll watch the whole fight, and we can kind of discuss it as they fight. So my friend, he is on the right. He's the red-headed Akuma.
He's clean.
Ooh. And so, yeah, you know, he starts out on the defensive, he's blocking, and the other dude is really aggressive with his attacks. But, you know, if he waited it out, he waited for his opportunities, he took some of those, and the guy was able to answer back.
Yeah, I like that if he wasn't in a hurry at the beginning of the match, like, it shows a bit more control and kind of feel out the opponent in like a little bit. And he just... Ooh! So he read that. Yeah, this player is like super aggressive, so seems kind of like a hothead.
But I mean, you can, you know, obviously he's platinum, so he has some moves. And I just noticed, apparently he's a hard working man. Whatever that means.
Hardest.
He's the hardest working man. Like, that's why he's so aggressive. He ain't got time to waste playing games. He got to get out his moves now. He got to put you down. He got to show you what's what.
Oh, wow. Okay, does this kill? It does.
Also, Akuma is tight.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna say it. Akuma in the game right now. I mean, he looking good.
He looking real good.
I'm gonna have to go in the cave myself.
Get that caveman look. He always has that tie on his was that a ponytail or what was that?
It's his top knot, you know.
Top.
That's his chi. It's pushing his hair up top anyway, so he might as well
straight to heaven.
Bind it. He's like, you can't control me, and I can't control my hair, but I try. And see, look, on this fight, like he came back, you know, putting on some moves, some nice combos.
It's really interesting to see the two styles, the aggressive Akuma versus the defensive Akuma, who's waiting and who's placing attacks with careful precision. You know, he's kind of like a doctor waiting for his time. Oh, and just like that,
that was with that sliver of health, he was like, you know what? Let me back up. And that's, you know, if he does that sometimes, he likes to pull back. And whenever we play together, that's kind of the thing that messes with my head, because he'll get aggressive and then he pulls back, and it's like, stop, come on, let's keep fighting. And I do like that in their match, they're giving each other opportunities to really play the game. They're not doing like textbook, I'm just trying to play. They're actually having fun with it.
That's such a great point, yeah.
Because like, look at this fireball exchange. That's, you know.
You really get to see. They're both in burnout doing their thing.
Exactly. And if he wasn't winning the exchange, but at the same time he decides to play with it, have fun.
Missed input. So it looks like he was trying to do an Hadouken and a Shoryuken came out. He was expecting. Yeah, the shimmy. He did a little bit of the shimmy. He walked in, walked out.
He does that often. And I think this is it here. This is the combo that
no, don't do him like that. Why don't do him like that?
Kind of broke his spirit.
He's a. This is very quick.
And there it is. And so, what are your thoughts?
Just on like the entire match or this particular point where
we can discuss the whole thing, but let's of course we're here to talk about rage quitting. But the match, we can talk about the match first.
Okay, yeah, I definitely like what you pointed out. Their ability to watch each other, give each other space to interact and engage. The aggressive, I love the different styles. The aggressive player trying out his combos, getting in there, but I also see the careful precision, point placement of the attacks, and just letting you know, hey, I actually, if he's just being like, I actually have control of this match. Like whenever I want to defeat you, I just need to watch where you're lacking, and so that aggressive player is what the hardest working man. Difficulty.
He was working hard. He took that ass with him home with him.
He had some blind spots that would cause him to fall into certain traps, not be aware of like certain attacks that he would be putting out that would be vulnerable. So it definitely shows a higher level of in-game knowledge and gameplay and being patient. And I think that got to the hardest working man. And he's like, fuck all this.
I mean, if whether online or in real life, an ass whooping like that is gonna hurt. But again, kind of like with the topic of today, rage quitting. Is it disrespectful to quit on someone? Because like me personally, I talk about what I do. When I take kind of, like when we were playing earlier, there were a couple matches where if we were serious, I would have accepted it. I would have taken it. I would have been like, okay, that's cool. You got me that time. But that sort of fight, kind of like the combo that Iffy just put on him, that fuels me to come back stronger. That fuels me to want to fight harder, fix where I probably, drop some combos or some moves. But if it's a game I'm excited about, then it makes me want to learn that game better. It makes me want to come back and then fight this person and say, you remember last time you got me.
Yeah.
But this time, I got something for you. So that's like personally how I take it. I feel like I'm going to take this butt whooping now so I can learn from it later.
That brings up two mindsets, like in the and being able to like have that mindset while playing the game. Like for me, right, if I'm playing against Street Fighter players online and whatnot, sometimes I'm in the grip, I'm frustrated, and I'm pissed off, and I get my butt handed to me. No matter what I do, I could see that the other player clearly has this huge gap, and then I'm just gonna like I'm not gonna rage quit, but I'm gonna soft rage quit where I just don't do any more matches after that match after my ass whoop is handed to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna just go play some Hearthstone or whatever because I don't want to grow right now. Whereas in other cases, I agree with that. Not agree, but I have that mindset as well that you just talked about, where I want to grow, I want to learn, and I'll take this ass whooping 125 matches just so I could get incrementally better. And so it brings up, to me, players' mindsets on, do they have a growth mindset? Do they have a in the grip mindset, a frustration mindset? This should be good enough. Why am I not winning? Type of mindset. Yeah.
And see, my thing, based on what you just said, I wouldn't even call like the first scenario rage quitting, because like you finish the fight, and I'm sure it sounds like you would do it respectfully, and then you just move away from it. A lot of the times, no matter what sport it is, when you take a loss, it hurts. It hurts your ego. It makes you wonder, the time and effort you put into it, was it worth it? And then a lot of the times what really, I think, hurts is when you could have won, but you dropped that combo, or you didn't do the move you normally do there, or you hesitate because you're like, oh, are they going to do this? So you overthink it. And I feel like that, like, kind of like the grit and bear it, that's fine. But, I mean, could you imagine what it would be like if in a basketball, football, or soccer game, if you're down 3 points or, or whatever, and then all of a sudden the team just threw their hands up and walked off the field? Ooh. It would be like, that's ridiculous. Like, the entire audience would probably be like, what's going on? Yeah. Is somebody hurt? And if they figured out, like, oh, they're just mad because they're losing, they start booing. And that's not really something you can come back from.
True.
And so, for me, I feel like there's a clear difference between rage, which is sometimes what we see, when people are hitting their desk or they're pounding, and things like that, versus actual rage quitting. Because when you rage, like, say for instance, if you're playing Fortnite or something like that and you miss a shot, and you break your own keyboard, well, you're dead already. That's you're just raging. You're not taking anything from anybody. But this here was a ranked match, and at the end of the match, rather than finish it, he decided to quit. And so a lot of games, what they've started doing lately is, which is, segues really nicely into my next point, but like, how do you punish these sort of things? And a lot of games have decided, because we are playing online so much, that it's really hard to find that balance. Because it could have been that there's a storm and his internet went off. It could have been that he didn't pay his bill and his internet got cut off. But more than likely, especially at that point, which I see it a lot of the times in other areas, he quit. He decided to turn his game off. And so, and in some cases, I know some games, it feels like they punish the player that's winning just as much as the player who decided to leave. And I don't think that's fair. And so, what are your thoughts on, like, punishment for actual rage quitting, where you eliminate yourself from an ongoing match?
Yeah, I think that it should be treated like ranked matches in Pokemon trading card game online, where if you concede, you get knocked back more points. At least it seems that way. Don't quote me on this, but you get more points taken off from you in the ranked match if you were to quit, versus just taking the loss. You lose fewer points. I've noticed that in trading card games. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Master, same thing. You quit, you get fewer points for whatever gameplay you got versus taking the loss. Mm-hmm. And so, rage quitting removes options like player interaction. I think that rage quitting, gets into the realm of unsportsmanlike conduct. And unsporting conduct is handled with a bit more harshness, a bit more of an escalation of punishment than, some kind of mistake or whatever. I think it should be handled like that. So the person who rage quitted and or more so has a pattern of rage quitting, because it could be a storm, should be penalized to some degree more than people who don't display that pattern. Yeah.
I think the issue though is like a lot of companies are afraid to punish like rage quitters because they make up maybe not the majority of the player base, but they make up a nice sized chunk. And I have noticed, like, as of late, a lot of games have gotten softer on punishing that sort of thing, because there is the risk of there being an issue and you're punishing someone who it was outside of their control, and so it's basically like a slap on the wrist. Some games I feel like they take it too far where they end up punishing negatively both players, and I'm like, I didn't do anything. I was winning. And I feel like we've advanced so far now that we can kind of figure some of that stuff out, because there is like lag and latency. There are patterns that can show you kind of like whether it was I turned off my game, all my electricity, my power was lost immediately. So I feel like they can figure some of that stuff out. But circling back to my main point, I feel like a lot of companies are afraid to punish people who have a pattern of doing this, because I hear it all the time in League of Legends. People are really shitty in League of Legends.
Okay.
Often people talk about how they have like the worst like player base, how they're so rude and mean and this and that. And every time you hear them, whether it is they leave, they huff, whatever, you're like, oh, report them. And they're like, it doesn't matter. I do this all the time. And I feel like a lot of companies, at the end of the day, they understand that like the good players aren't going to leave, or the nice players aren't going to leave because they're nice. And generally they're going to find a couple of people to play with. And even if they do, they're kind of, they probably weren't going to stick around anyway. Yeah. Whereas the toxic, negative, rage, quitters, I'm angry, they're always going to come back because that's how they exist. That toxicity, it's part of what they do. Don't play. Hey, that's a real word today. It's a real word today.
No.
Give me that look. But I feel like they understand it, just like people who get hooked going to the casino or gambling at the racing tracks. They know that those people who have that rage in them, they're gonna keep coming back because that's their drug. I feel.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, how you do one thing is how you do most, if not everything, in life. That's a saying that I hear people say, where if you're toxic in one area, you're probably toxic in multiple other areas of your life. So trying to enforce certain punishments may not do anything to curb that behavior or to, make it stop. At the same time, I do think that it could have a particular impact. Maybe, I don't know what impact it would have though, where at least in this realm, they manage their toxicity a little bit. They manage their rage a bit more. They're like, well, I don't want to lose points, and might cause their thinking brain, instead of their like animal instinct brain, to be like, okay, let's not rage quit. I still want my points, and maybe it can kick them into thinking, how do I get better? How do I prevent this from happening? At least in this domain. That's wishful thinking on my part, but I think, people act how people act based on what they understand is acceptable in an environment.
No, I get that. That makes sense. That makes sense. Circling back to my original question, is this something that like gamers just have to kind of be okay with? Or is there a way to kind of curb that? Or do you think it's like the players that have to kind of fix that, kind of like rage quitters? Or do you think it's the developers? Like, what is something, like, do we have to accept rage quitters? And if so, what's something that could be done to kind of like lessen it?
Oh, it's such a good question. It's like it makes me think, then what's the root cause of the rage quitting in the first place?
They suck. Serious mode. There might be some deep internal. No, I'm joking.
It is trash, right? Yeah, if you're a rage quitter, that means you suck and you know it.
Just get the trash, man.
That's why you took yourself out.
It's like, yeah. He's like, you know what? I'm a hard worker. You ain't gotta do this to me. You ain't gotta kick my ass like that. I'm going to work.
Oh shoot! On one side, I feel like things could be done to try to curb it. What can be done? I don't know. The thing is, on one hand, I think something should be done to sort of maybe try to get to the root cause of that. Because personally, I think fighting games could be an exercise in self-development.
Yeah, I can see that.
It really could be. Like like changing or adjusting one's mindset from I'm a rage quit to I'm really mad right now, and I take that aggression out in the game, I'll probably lose, but I'm gonna do some risky stuff that I wouldn't have risked doing, and that could channel that energy into experimentation in the next game instead of quitting, just to see what happens. Like, that could be channeled, that some information could be learned there. On the flip side, I love the fact that there's rage quitters in the FGC. Like, I love like all the aspects. I love the growth mindset. I love because the rage quitting mindset, the toxics a little bit as well, because it encapsulates the full dynamic of who we are as people, you know, and it's real. Like, the realness part of it, like with the FGC, I like so much. So I think having both, not doing anything, but also maybe directly addressing rage quitting, like, hey, what is the reason for that? It's gonna happen, but how come we've never investigated the psychology behind it, you know? So there'll be some interesting discussion there.
No, I see what you're saying, and I get that, like, having people that show that level of passion, you know, is part of the excitement of it, because you get that there's something on the line. But again, I feel like if it is something, whether it be for enjoyment or it is a craft, removing yourself from the process of, like, in the middle of that, I think it's just disrespectful to the whole community.
It is.
Because again, and I do understand that sometimes, like, say, the form of rage quitting, we do have that in basketball, we do have that in baseball, when, you know, a player decides to push another player and they get fouled out, and they, you know, and they're like, you know what, forget it, and they throw a chair or whatever. Or, you know, a baseball player decides to rush the pitcher's mound because they don't like the way things are going. But those are individuals that are part of a team, so the game itself can continue in most cases. And, you know, kind of what we're there to do is able to carry on. But as individual players, once you remove yourself from that, you're cheating essentially both parties out of that moment in its entirety. And that's why, like, say for instance, again, circling back to, like, League of Legends, whenever me and my friends play League of Legends, no matter how far behind we are, which we've had some matches where it's like, wow, we're basically punching bags at this point, we try to at least finish it, because for that other team, that's a good moment for them. You know, they're like, oh man, I'm getting kills, and I'm making maneuvers and plays that I've never really been able to do before. I didn't think was possible. I'm able to experiment and grow from that. And so do we grow from that as well. Like, part of the reason when we do play League of Legends, I tank a lot. That's the role where I defend the team. I don't do a ton of damage in most cases, but I'm supposed to be able to absorb more damage and then kind of like take the threat away from our damage dealers, so that more people will focus on me. And in playing so many matches where we are down and out, that's how I learned those roles. That's how I learned how to do that. And so in this situation, I get that, you know, Akuma versus Akuma, the fight was over. It was a done deal. Yeah. But you can still learn from the combo that he hit you with. How do you back out of that? Or like when we were playing earlier, how do I avoid Zangief grabbing me every time I go try to get close? Well, Marissa has a kick. You know, other characters have fireballs. I know, what's his name? Is it JP? He can fill up the entire screen with purple ominous energy orbs, and you know, Zangief has to kind of work his way around that. And so you don't learn those things if you remove yourself from the game before you even have an opportunity to learn from it. And I've noticed the trend, like where you have rage quitters, you also have quitters who will rage quit so early in the game. Like in some cases, it's like League of Legends, 2 minutes in, they're ready to quit. GG's everybody. And then we end up winning, and it's like, what? I thought we were gonna lose. Where them GG's go? You know. Or like even in fighting games, I've seen people, you hit them with, you know, that first round, you perfect them, and they're like, I'm done. That could have been a fluke, you know, but you didn't give yourself an opportunity to see. And so, and I think that's kind of my biggest issue with like rage quitters. I think like putting that energy out there, it feels non-competitive. I like competitive rage because that gets me excited. That means I get to come at you later. And I think that's why it works in other sports, like in basketball and football, because that's competitive rage in most cases.
That's true.
That means I'm going to go, I'm going to hit the gym, I'm going to come back, I'm going to do shots, I'm going to come back, I'm going to, you know, do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be sharper, I'm going to be stronger, and next time you're not going to get me like that. But non-competitive rage, it leaves you with nothing. It just leaves a sour taste in your mouth. Even when I'm down and out and losing, I'm still going to enjoy it if I feel like I put up a good fight or if I did the best that I could. But if someone quits on me before I even have a chance to kind of show what I have, it's not really good for anybody. And I think for me, that's really the defining characteristics between competitive rage quitting versus non-competitive rage quitting.
Yeah, that's a good point. It makes me think about some trading card game matches where I would quit, and I noticed something. The more I'd lose in that particular game, like Pokemon TCG Live, as an example, like I ended up in the ultimate rage quit. I deleted the app off my phone. Like, this game is trash.
He's like, no more. No. Me and you, no more.
And the thing is, like, what you talked about made me think about what's the level of the love for the game, you know?
Oh, that's important. Yeah.
It's like, because in Yu-Gi-Oh, I could lose way more in Yu-Gi-Oh, way more in Street Fighter. I mean, I'm literally talking 125, 160 matches. I was losing to some guy in Japan way back in the day, before Fightcade was local, before Fightcade became Fightcade. Back in the day. 2002, 2003 type stuff, okay? And man, I was just getting handed to me. And it wasn't until match 131 of just getting mocked by this Japanese player that I started to win some matches. And after 30 more matches, we were 50-50 within those last 15 matches.
Okay.
It was getting interesting. But I loved the freaking game. I just loved it. I loved the dynamic. And so it makes me wonder. Oh, so this is what I'm getting at. It makes me wonder about one's level of love for game, because I do not love Pokemon TCG Live.
I get that.
Only when I'm winning, okay? But I think the game's prize system is dumb. I want my entire deck, okay?
I want it now.
I want all my stuff. Like, me not having one combo card or whatever decides the entire match, and there's not enough chances, like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Whatever, to really have that
to turn things around.
And so it makes me think about, do they care more about the game, or do they care more about winning?
And see, I almost feel like those sort of games, the ones where when it's obvious when you're ahead versus, you know, and not having an opportunity to come back, if those games aren't made for people who are non-competitive rage quitters, like those are the type of games that I feel like are being developed more and more, where generally it's pay to win in a lot of cases, or it's I got that one item, I got that one card that no one else really has or very few people have, and if I can get that out before you, I win. And then that becomes the goal. Because when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Is it Duel Links?
Yeah.
I was playing that one, and something that I noticed is when you get into certain matches or certain areas, you would do like 1 to 2 moves, you really don't know what's going on, and then the other person will quit. Because, like, I assume they didn't pull the right card combination or something like that.
Yes.
And so it's like, it's almost a by the numbers game. And so I feel like even when you look at, circling back to Street Fighter 6, where you have the classic, modern, and dynamic, I feel like it's their way of trying to enter the realm of, hey, we got you. Here's that easy mode. And I feel like for some players, they play it because they pride themselves on being like, oh, I'm good. I'm better than those people. I'm better than those others. But it's almost this like, this arrogant selfishness. Like I shouldn't be losing. And so when they are losing, they rage quit. So when you talk about the love of the game, I feel like it's less love of the game and more love for what they imagine their skill sets to be. And I think that's why we end up with so many toxic environments in gaming, different gaming cultures. Like the Call of Duty lobby is infamous for being toxic. League of Legends is infamous for having a toxic player base, and so on and so on, because you have a lot of people who believe they should be better, and we're all just casually playing. If you're meant to be that good, if you are truly that good, why aren't you pro? Why aren't you paid for this? Why don't I know who you are? And I don't think they ever really ask themselves that question. They just know definitively, I am great. And so you're wasting my time by cheating, or my controller's not working right, or I'm lagging, so I quit. And I think that, for me kind of is a big part of why I have such a sour taste in my mouth for, like rage quitting in this way. Because it's like, let me have my moment. If I pull this off, let me have my moment. Just like if you pull that off on me, if you're grabbing me and tossing me around, I'm going to let you have your moment, because obviously I'm having an off day and I need some sense beat into me, because God knows I didn't bring it.
Yeah. This reminds me of when in tournaments, when people would, especially back in the day.
You say back in the day. You keep saying it.
2002, 2003, 2005.
Oh, you back in the day.
Yes, before Evo was Evo, like, I'm taking it back, yeah.
That sounds like a long time ago. That's
What'd you try to say?
2 whole decades.
No.
2 whole...
This is from video game footage I'd seen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, historical documents.
Yes, historical documents.
Okay.
And where players might pause the game or disconnect their controller.
Yes!
Man, one who was popular for that, Sanford Kelly. He was the saltiest player. He was a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 top player. I think he was an Evo champ once, and he was only second to Justin Wong. And Sanford Kelly was the saltiest man who has ever played the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 games. Like, I think he threw his controller on the floor, his arcades. This is another.
Yeah, this one here.
Let me see the top one. The King Unleashed. Sanford Kelly throws stick.
Yeah.
Oh, and he carried in the Street Fighter 4.
Yeah. Right now, it's safe again. Oh, it's overhead, not over.
I mean, we gotta see it.
Oh, nice roll! Not enough. Now what?
Oh! That's a close fight. That's a close fight.
Take a look. No.
He got a tear in his eye. Look, that changed his life.
Yes.
He got a tear in his eye. He knew he had it.
He's got to be salty after that.
He had won the previous round.
He knew he had it. He knew he had it. That's a rough loss, though.
Yes.
That's a rough loss.
And the thing about Sanford, this is Sanford doing better, okay? Back in the MVC2 days, he didn't let the game finish.
Oh, okay.
He rage quit in real life in the game. He's like, why are you? He's like, stop doing that. When he gets hit with the combo.
You might as well. Or you might as well. You might as well. All right.
Guys, this is what happened.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Poor controller.
The rage.
Yo,
I think I remember this watching this clip and thinking to myself, I'm like, this is kind of crazy. Like, I don't.
I hate to laugh at Sanford Kelly's misfortune because
I know.
That's
that was his
crazy
game.
though.
Damn it.
I mean, understandably, you know.
Yeah.
But like, my thing is like, that's rough.
That is rough.
I mean, that was a close fight. And I think they said they had another match. So essentially, I don't think he finished that one either. But so yeah, that level of rage quitting, I think, is on a whole nother level. Like I feel like there's not a whole lot we can do about that sort of thing when it's fun to see. It is, interesting, but at the same time, I just feel that it doesn't do us any favors.
It doesn't. It's also and another point I was going to make or supposed to make was that the point you mentioned with I forgot exactly what you said, but your previous talking point before the Sanford Kelly thing made me think about how fighting games, when you lose in a fighting game or anything, the event that caused him to rage quit like that, getting just handled in that combo, is meeting reality, like getting faced with the reality of things, getting pushed out of the delusional bubble, and that's a lot of times a normal human response. Maybe not rage quitting in life, but
but for that particular instance, that sliver of health, I've played matches against my friends where you have these heated exchanges, you're going back and forth, and the health bar is beyond. They're dead. You're basically fighting a zombie at this point.
Yeah.
And it just feels like, so I can understand his frustration.
Well, let me clarify. I'm not talking about the specific Sanford Kelly.
Well, I get that.
I was upset about that too.
Yeah.
But I mean, taking that off the table for right now, because I know you're going to get into a particular point on that. I know that when we meet reality, and our dream is shattered, or our imagination is shattered, when we imagine, like you mentioned, I'm supposed to be good. I am good, aren't I? And such, and they're faced with reality. That's anger-inducing. That's like, anger happens when we have a certain set of expectations, and then those aren't met, and then there's that gap, and it's like, why the heck hasn't that happened? And we start blaming other things. Oftentimes first, until it happens often enough, and it's like, okay, now you have to look at blaming. I mean, not blaming, but looking at yourself. Why does it keep happening?
Yeah.
And it's like that sudden. It's like crashing into that wall. It's sudden crashing into that wall. It's like, I'm not gonna do this. Like, I'm out. And that's not healthy. Because it doesn't foster growth. There's no forward movement. There, like you said, it affects the other player as well. Takes them out the game. It's unsporting conduct, technically. So all I'm saying is, I find it interesting that this is a specific example of where our expectations are not met. We're hit in the face with reality, and people choose different paths based on how they think about life and themselves. But that's just one thought. I'm not pushing.
No, I agree, because a lot of the times I think what happens is like my friend, if he plays in a bubble, and I think the bubbles that we play in often help to cultivate our attitude towards us as players. much like your family helps to cultivate your friends, and your family help to cultivate who you are when you go out into the world as a person. And we all have kind of these like soft spots for, you know, like things that we're kind of worried about. And I think that's true for players, because like one of the things, like talking about myself, me and my best friends, whenever we play fighting games against each other, we all have certain games that we're kind of the top of. Like, without question, I run it. You know, and that goes around, you know, with, you know, differently for each of us. And I feel like because of that, we all have in our heads like a definitive knowing of where we shine and where we don't. And then when we enter into the other person's realm, because we get, you know, like we're all Goku at one moment, or we're all Lord Barris the next moment, you know, and then in some cases we're Whis, you know, like it just, you know, it keeps spiraling upward. We don't go any less than Goku.
Okay.
And so, you know, when you come in, you're like, oh, I'm Goku. And I think the important part of that metaphor is that even when Goku gets beat to death, he's still like, man, that was a great fight. And that's how we are with each other. You know, it's like, man, that was a great fight. You know, like one of my friends, Duran, he had brought Street Fighter 6 as well. And his go-to people are A.G.L and Cammy. And he fought against my nephew and my little brother. Because, you know, they grew up watching us play, and so now they play too, and we all play together, whatever. And when I tell you the ass whooping that they put on him was so bad, he decided to pack up his game, the copy of Street Fighter, and he handed it off to our other friend. He was like, I ain't playing this no more. And then he told my brother and my nephew, y'all didn't have to do me like that. You didn't have to beat my ass like that. I thought we were family. But he took that ass. He took it, and we laughed about it. He laughed it off. But he played Street Fighter 6. and
I'll give him PTSD.
Absolutely. So, and the thing is now, every now and then, if it's like, hey, why don't you play the game? And he like, you know I don't play that damn game no more. Stop asking me. And we all we grew up playing fighting games together. And Street Fighter was one of his games.
Oh my God.
So the fact that he's like, it ain't for me no more. He's retired. They retired him, you know? And so I see that as like a kind of like an honorable walk away. I don't really see that as rage quitting, because, we just play it for casual now.
Yeah.
If he's the only one still out here mastering, different players and stuff, and now that they made the announcement of bringing my guy Terry Bellegarde and Maya Shiranui to Street Fighter 6, I may have to dust off the crown.
Oh.
I may have to bring out the throne.
Oh.
And I may have to take a seat at the top of the mountain.
Okay.
But we'll see. Because if they dig into me the way they did my friend, I might pack up my copy and I don't play this game. But he's still good at what he does, though. It was a good fight. There wasn't a perfect, he didn't drop any combos. Okay. They went back and forth. But one of the things that we've always had a gift at, and we've always done, is we acknowledge the better player. And that's kind of his way of acknowledging that, like, right now, my nephew and my little brother, you know, they're next. They're good. You know, like, because whenever I would play the run, I would struggle against his Guile. I'm struggling, you know. I mean, even though we both kind of rusty, he's, you know, picking up his combos and stuff like that. He just has to remember the mechanics that have went from 5 to 6. And so, and that's where, you know, because he still has that muscle memory. But I feel like, you know, players like that, they're what fuel the community. Like, even though I haven't played a Street Fighter game since Turbo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's been a long while.
Okay.
But, you know, I mean, this one looked great. You know, we were all getting back into it together, and we've had some really good times playing it together. But I think one of the things that kind of took some of us out of it is the, you know, unlocking characters by buying them.
Okay.
Just because we're used to, you play, you get better, you unlock new characters. You play, you get better, you unlock new characters. But like, I think, you know, like I say, in that case, that was kind of just him passing it on, essentially, just so our other friend could play it if he wanted to. But I think we need to kind of, you know, circling back to people who are, you know, angry or you know, aggressive quitters, and not necessarily for the love of the game, or because they feel like they're lacking something. I feel like we need to stop trying to create games to cater to that group and continue to make games that cater to the people who are passionate about it. And the reason I say that is because I do believe that, you know, a lot of the conversations as of late for like fighting games, first-person shooters, MOBAs, has been like, how do we lower the barrier of entry? And the answer is you don't.
Hello.
Because again, that's part of what makes it fun. That's part of what makes it rewarding. And I think that's partly the reason why there does seem to be so much rage versus rage quitters versus like raging rage quitters.
Yeah. I didn't like the idea of the modern and whatever what was it, AI or something? Dynamic?
Yeah, dynamic, yeah.
I didn't like the underlying premise of it. Well, on one side I could see the technical parts, the 3 punches and the 3 kicks and all that stuff. It's complicated, and it's for players who are not really in that mindset or who don't think that way naturally about it. And I see the utility of the modern controls being as a way to like ease that getting into the game, so there's not this quote unquote unnecessary barrier to entry.
Yeah.
So that they could focus on gameplay. So I like that side of it. What that has done, however, has further masked some of the shortcomings for people who don't put in the work, the lab time, and who don't focus on improving their gameplay. It puts a band-aid over that, and but the thing is that band-aid helps people who do want to focus on their gameplay, who don't want to be held back by dealing with the controls and everything and inputs. It's, I don't know.
And I think, and that's great for like casual players and things like that.
Casual
but I feel
players,
like, you know, just like we limit certain cards in TCG, we should limit certain features when you're playing online, and expectations when you're playing ranked. I do think a lot of the issues, which I kind of sympathize when someone is, you know, assumed rage quitter, is, you know, lag, poor internet connections, just, you know, frame rates, that all of that can kind of like be beyond your control.
Yeah.
Whether it be your location, because, you know, being in Arkansas, we don't have the greatest internet everywhere. It's kind of hit or miss. You know, you can have one place where it's like, oh wow, that's crazy, amazing, fast speeds, and then you can have right across the street, can in the street. That's how I feel sometimes. You know, you're like, yeah, you just take that there can and connect, and you're ready to go. And then, you know, sometimes, you know, like TVs, you know, like how you can see, because I do know, like some of my friends, they have like smaller screens, so they, you know, can't really see all the details as well as some other folks. And it's just, they're a combination of things. And I feel like a lot of the times, people are frustrated kind of with their circumstance and kind of their inability to perform better because of that, and not necessarily because of their skill sets. So I guess maybe I'm circling around to your side of things, where I'm thinking like perhaps rage critters aren't so bad and that we should have a little bit of sympathy for them. But in some cases, if they are actively, I feel like the reasons for them quitting is important. And I feel like that's something that, as you mentioned earlier, that should kind of be investigated. Whether it, you know, there doesn't have to be a case study, but I think internally, whenever you're playing a game and you find yourself, you know, turning it off aggressively or pausing it or just removing your controller in the midst of the game, ask yourself what is the underlying reason and probably go from there.
Yeah, you know, because the thing is, for me, it's like, I don't know what it is. I have this appreciation for toxicity now, a little bit. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I like dramas. I don't know.
It's because your life is too good. That's why you trying to get other folks out here acting up.
It's interesting. It's entertaining, you know. But definitely the important thing is, like, I think they want to have a good time. They want to win fair and square. It's a reason why we have ranks, right? Diamond. They don't pair up diamonds with. Okay, there is a diamond versus platinum. Anyway, you know, they put players on equal playing fields or footings, like weight classes.
You about to say that, and then Iffy over here fighting a diamond. But
That's
this might
Iffy?
be a level up match. Yeah, he's Akuma.
Oh,
So it might be a rank up match.
okay. Man, he's got matches on here.
Yeah,
Is
he
this
had
channel?
I'll send you a link later.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, you know, I'm trying, you know, like on my channel, the A.G.L channel, what I'm trying to do is highlight Arkansas-based players and share their content.
He's beating the bunny up, huh?
Beating her up into the ground. You can't stop that level of, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, so, you know, that's something that I try and do, you know, on my channel is pull content, like, but, you know, we grew up together, so, you know, I respect his skill set.
Okay.
You know, when I talk of the Four Kings, he wears one of the crowns, so, you know.
That's Jury. Okay,
Yeah, that's it. Normally, that's who my nephew he plays with. Yeah, but like if ever you see them online, you know, be sure to watch out. You know, there's Lumi Reaper,
Okay.
CF Rising, and Iffy. Yeah, sometimes you run into a Crimson Sloth, or a Sage Greed, or a Topaz Lust.
What?
And it hurt your feelings, man.
Okay. I like these names, like 7 Deadly Sins type name.
Yeah, 4 Kings, 7 Sins. That's yeah, what you want about things.
I like that. Wait, what's your handle? Okay. You're revealing. Y'all just find out.
Yeah,
Y'all
I mean,
just
you
have to
know, when you run into me online, you'll find, yeah, when I fight you for real,
Okay.
and you find yourself on the other end of a rage quitting, you're like, oh, I gotta unplug this. You'll be like, that must have been, okay, was that Teddy? Oh my God, he beat my ass. But no, so I guess to wrap things up a little nicely, Final thoughts on rage quitting.
My final thoughts on rage quitting are that it's still gonna happen. It's always gonna happen. It's just how we are as people. We're gonna run up against that. We're gonna think we're that unstoppable force until we run up against that unmovable wall and get hit in the face with reality. And how you handle that is an opportunity for you to look inside, at least for me, to look inside myself to see what causes that. Because I know players who rage quit. They want to play the game and they want to enjoy the game and they don't want to have to rage quit. Because when they're playing well, they don't. It's like there's no reason to. So what are the beliefs that are being reinforced when they're losing rage quit? And I'm not saying, do a whole class in psychology or whatever, but if you want to, cool. I think these are opportunities to get into personal development for fighting games. That's my stance. I think fighting games can help me look into some personal development. Many will never be interested in that, but I think it's a good opportunity.
I mean, I think that's a great idea. I think gaming as a whole can help you do that. And I do know that which, we can probably discuss in later discussions, what are some games that help with mental health? What are some games that help you feel things? My final thoughts on rage quitting are this. You have to remember why it is you picked up the controller in the first place. And allow that to be your guide. Because no matter what it is you're trying to be proficient at in life, whether you're doing it for fun or you're doing it for pay, you want to get better at it. You want to get to a certain level to make it either fun or to get paid for it. But if you always find yourself angry and kind of interrupting your potential lessons, you'll never get to that point. And I do understand that emotions run high, but there is a way to show emotion but still continue playing and being a part of the game. That's my long answer. Short answer, get good.
Straight up.
I mean, because look, I've taken a whole lot of ass whoopings now. I didn't get to the point where I'm talking about I'm good because I just showed up. Like my little brother got some friends that, one dude beat me with Dowsing, and I was like, I felt like Krillin fighting Frieza.
Yeah.
Where he at? I'm like, I didn't know Dowsing could be in 3 places at once. That's how I felt. But my whole goal in that fight, part of the reason I didn't get angry, part of the reason I did enjoy it, is because I've seen this kid develop his skills, 1. 2, I thought it was impressive that he was able to casually have a conversation and tell me what he's doing and then point out my flaws like I used to be able to do for them. And then 3, he was kicking my ass. But I had a goal in mind. Perhaps I'm not able to take all 3 matches, but I'm taking 1. And I did. And so I was happy with that. And so I took a step back and was like, hey, you should really think about, going at it, because the world is bigger now. It's more accepting of being able to play professionally. And even if you just do it part-time, and I'm like, you should probably consider going out there and really trying to do something with your skill sets. But yeah, so, those are kind of my final thoughts.
Yeah, piggyback off that, and I gave final thoughts.
No, you're good. These are your final thoughts?
Yeah. When you said that, it made me think of an old
historical document?
On the Shoryuken.com website when it was up and active. It's always said, evolve your game or die.
Oh.
And that was in the GameFAQs or SRK forum days, it's just the case. And also,
Managing expectations, like what you pointed out there, with you want to get one match, you want to get one round, one game. Manage expectations. Is it realistic to expect that you're going to win a full sweep? If that's your expectation, and then the reality doesn't meet that, you're going to be more angry. You're going to be more upset. But if you set the bar at, hey, I just want to do better than the last game. I just want to be 1% better. I want to drop combos less often. I was like, oh, I lost, but I didn't drop those combos. Then that can really go a long way to making you less angry and rage quitting less often. So thank you for bringing up that point.
No, I think that's like awesome, and I mean I agree with that. But I love that you say it was evolve your game or die, and I think that's really important because that's something that I often have to do myself. Is like whenever I start a new game with my friends or even just by myself, I have to change my expectations and change kind of what I want to get out of that game based on what's presented in front of me. You know, I can't go into it thinking, oh, I'm gonna do it like this one. It's enough to bring in a foundation. So like whenever I play any fighting game, I take that same foundation, but I change kind of what my expectations are. I change what I want to do here. I change the type of player that I am so that I can make sure that at the very least I can have fun with it. And at the end of the day, I can say, it ain't me. You know, it ain't me. You know, I'm out here fighting. You ain't gonna make me look bad. All right. Well, I think that was a great discussion on rage quitting and kind of like how it plays a part in gaming. Yeah, it's been fun gaming and chatting with you.
Likewise, mutual. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I've been your host, Teddy, Teddy, because I'm cool. And
this is Skyryuu, okay, in gaming. Or you may also know me as Tech Ed Kirsch in gaming, so either one of those handles.
Look at him, he got two names.
Yeah, I'm doing my thing out here. On the road to Evo, guys.
Oh yeah, we do got Evo coming up in July, so that's gonna be exciting. We should definitely discuss that before we go. Expectations, things like that. But yeah, this has been a great episode, I suppose, of a yet to be titled segment. I do like game and chat. That's fun.
That's cool.
But yeah, GG, GN, which is good game and good night. Till next time. All right, bye y'all.